When we started out, the hope was that we could find a small way to lean into the challenges that CMS was facing in teaching our students. We were coming out of COVID. It was a very difficult time for everyone, and we felt the idea of standing on the sidelines where our school system faced all of these issues to educate our students was not the right time to sit out of the game.
One important thing, and perhaps the most important thing about this engagement, is that we start with the needs of the educators. And so what we first do is work with our district leaders to understand, what are your strategic needs? Where do you have resources? Where do you have gaps?
I think what a lot of people fail to realize is that the school system is a business. We're a $2.1 billion business, and our end user is the student. Our expertise, most of us are educators, so we know how to teach, we know how to do those things. But when you think about running a business and creating efficiencies and getting things organized so that people who are still at the schoolhouse can do what they were designed to do, their expertise, their core competency, the support that we need is really on the business side.
One of the things that I've spent a lot of time with the folks here has been trying to create, more consistent management practices top to bottom in order to speed communication, make it much more transparent, make communication intentional, and make communication responsive so that we can move more from reactive to a much more proactive approach.
We were kicking it off at 42 low-performing schools, and we had to make sure the kids had transportation. We had to make sure they were able to eat. And we had to make sure that we had the right vendor mix or partner mix to be able to support the students. And then we had to get the students to come. And by the time I left, we were in 96 schools. We've impacted over 8,000 students and over 1 million tutoring minutes.
So we went from the strategic work in the fall to the budget in the winter and even into January and February, and we put it in a package, and Dr. Hill did a great job telling the story and taking it to the county. And look, it passed on the first time. She texted me after it was done and approved, and I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple tears shed, and a big yes.
And it takes some humility from leaders to be able to say, okay, I haven't necessarily done this that way before, but I'm open to thinking about things in a different way. And so I think just the humility from people was outstanding, and it helped us to get the results.
Well, first of all, it was amazing what they were doing with what the tools that they had. But after I kind of understood the full scope of how they were tracking everything and what the reporting needs were, slowly we were able to build out some different automation things for them, and then ultimately a dashboard that they could interact with. And
I worked on several different projects with the communications team. The one that I think I would point to is the creation of we did a year in review report for the school year 2022-23, and we're now working on the next one. And what I love about that is it is featuring the things that are so great about this school district, and there's so much of that, and you don't hear that every day.
I very quickly realized that we had awesome educators, subject matter experts in their own right. So our opportunity to come in and bring our spheres of expertise, whether that be strategy, human resources, financial services, or otherwise, really afforded us an opportunity if we could just authentically engage.
This has really changed me. I understand how much I enjoy that, how much more it's brought me into the community where I've been living for 12 years, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
We all have stressful days at work. It's certainly true here at CMS. There have been several days where I've thought I should just walk away from this. And then every time that I think that, something comes up that I just can't walk away from. And it's because these folks that work here, the team here at CMS is so committed and so driven that it's impossible to walk away from them. And so it's taught me to be persistent.
I've learned I'm more than a utility executive. I've learned that I have more to offer than just, after a 40-year career at Duke Energy, my mindset was sort of in one direction, and I think I've broadened it a little bit in terms of both the people I work with the types of things I think about and get worried about.
And then I think the other thing that I've learned personally is that it doesn't matter what sector people are in, everyone has something to offer, and if you're open, and if you're willing to be transparent, and if you're willing to be humble and allow others to help, beautiful things can happen.
What gives me immense hope is the level of talent on both sides. The educators are extremely intelligent and passionate, and they know their world. And our corporate leaders are the same for their world. And to be able to bring those together and to marry those and to create additional capacity for the school system.
The ultimate vision of this engagement is that we are to a place where our community is helping us innovate inside the district. It takes the entire community to reimagine what education can be and will be. The way things are right now, we know will look very different in 20 and 30 years. And so we want to engage our partners to help shape what that looks like. I think we have only scratched the surface of the potential of what this engagement can do and the power that is behind it.